Well, now I'm going to finish up this tutorial by showing you how to get this into a video editor so that you can actually then export it from that and share it in whatever format that you prefer, whether it be QuickTime or uploading it to YouTube or whatnot. I'm going to use Premiere Pro for this, and if you don't have that, I will also show you how to do it with QuickTime Pro. In our case, we have just one piece of audio, this dialogue MP3. So we could just grab that audio MP3 file for the audio. However, I'm going to show you how to export it from Flash in a QuickTime movie. Go to File, Export, Export Movie, and select QuickTime. We'll just put it on the desktop here. I'm going to just call this for audio. It gives you these options. Everything here should be fine. If you click on QuickTime settings, you may want to go in and let's say that the typical thing will actually be probably a 16-bit or 24-bit stereo at 44.1 or 48. So we'll do that. Click export and it'll throw it out to the desktop. After the export, you get this dialog and you can click OK there. Now for the video, you actually won't want to use the QuickTime export video. And if you take a look at the product of a QuickTime export, you'll see why. It's very artifacty. What you'll want to do is do a ping, that's PNG sequence. And when you're doing that, you'll want to create a new folder, most likely. And I'll call this ping sequence. So that all of these frames go into the folder in order. I'll click save. It asks you about the resolution. Everything should default to be the most correct thing. 1280 by 720 is our stage size. Click OK. Okay, so after this is stopped exporting, I can now close Flash. So go ahead and quit out of that. And we're going to switch over to Premiere Pro. Okay. I'm going to start a new project and set a project name. Call it whatever you want. And the scratch disk. And the new sequence that we're going to set, because our frame is 1280 by 720 and our frame rate is 24 frames per second, I'm going to go with HDV 720p 24 frames per second. Now you can do a custom sequence also, but luckily this is a very standard thing, so that's what I'm going to do. Double click on that. Okay, and now I'm going to import some footage. I'm going to import specifically our, right there under file, from our ping sequence. If we select that first one and then click on where it says numbered stills, click open. Now I need to get my project window open, and you'll see that it's imported there using the name of the first file as the name. What I need to do first is right click on this and go to modify interpret footage, because for some reason it will tend to think that a sequence of images of frames is going to be 30 frames per second. What we want is 24 frames per second. There we go. So just this first thing, interpret footage, make it 24 frames per second, or whatever frame rate you used in Flash to make it the correct length. You can then pull that down to the timeline. I'll shorten this timeline up a little bit so we can actually see it better. Next, we'll import the movie that we exported from Flash. And all we're going to use this movie for is for audio, right? So we'll drop it in there. See that the time matches up with our image clip. That's good. I'm going to right click on this movie that we just dropped in and click on unlink. That unlinks the video from the audio and allows us to delete the video. And so now we should have it all synced up. All you have to do to export it then is go to File, Export Media. You can also take it over to Final Cut Pro if you'd like from here, or some other program. So that's how you do the export from Premiere Pro. If you want to use QuickTime Player, it's essentially the same thing. This is QuickTime 7. Okay, it's available for $30 from Apple. If you don't have Premiere Pro, you can just open up our our movie in there. And you'll see this is why it didn't export correctly from Flash. It has this weird artifact line here and there, and just QuickTime export from Flash is pretty terrible. So what you have to do in QuickTime Player is do a Command J, and that brings up your movie properties. You can then delete the video track. You can create a new player in QuickTime 7 and open an image sequence. And this is just like in Premiere. Set your frame rate, 24 frames per second. There it is. Here we do a Command A to copy everything, Command A to select everything, Command C to copy everything, and then we switch back to the audio. We actually didn't need to create that new player. Switch back to that audio and do a add to movie, which is Command Option V. And again, we have the movie with the audio now.
I'm not sick. I don't need help.
And playing back completely uncompressed ping is pretty rough, pretty hard to do for any computer. So if we now export it, we can use our regular QuickTime settings to export it. And I'll set that out on the end of this movie. Thanks for watching, and have fun with Flash.
I'm not sick. I don't need help.
I am who I say I am.